have audio. No more no more talking trash or swearing, because
I like that,
the ladies
though.
can hear us now.
Okay.
So very quickly, if anybody is watching this stream from if anybody is watching this stream on the YouTube, or excuse me, on the Sew Along page. Wow, we are like clipping like crazy. I'm turning your gain down.
My gain?
The volume that they hear, just so it's not clipping.
What happened to all my
So, long story short, for any of you watching on the Sew Along page, in order to comment and have us see your comments, you will need to watch from either the Facebook page or the YouTube page.
Good morning. Good morning.
This is March, and I changed those settings.
Can you
I don't
check
know.
it? Because it says February. It is March.
I changed those settings, though. I don't know why it would say February. Hang on.
Patrick's going to check it, because we don't want people to be confused. I'm already confused, ladies and gents. All right. So we are going to start with...
Will you ask the ladies on...
and gents.
will you ask the ladies and gents on...
I have a question for you. Patrick wants me to ask you something.
And when you talk...
I'm going to just crack my beer. I'm just kidding. I'm cracking.
Yeah, Jeannie's having that kind of morning.
I'm cracking my bubbly. I need like a little something. The bubbles get me going. What am I asking, Patrick?
Are the ladies on...
and gents? The ladies and gents.
Are the ladies and gents on the on YouTube also seeing?
Are the ladies
Tabletopper?
and gents on YouTube? Does it say February Tabletopper in the title, or does it say March Tabletopper? So in my instructions, if you're going to be using muslin, and I know a lot of you have switched over to using the muslin, and I hope you like it. It is not the appropriate stabilizer for every situation.
There's no way for me to edit it once we're live.
Okay,
so
Patrick can't fix it while we're live.
Fact.
And we put in the wrong date on the Friday live feed. We put 2-2 instead of 2-3. Can you fix that? I put it
later, yeah.
But you can fix that? Okay. So, I put in measurements here. So if you are going to be using the 6x10 or 6x6, I want you to go ahead and cut your muslin 10.5 inches by width of fabric. And then if you're using the 8x12, 12 inches by width of fabric. And for the 10.5 by 10.5, 15.5 inches by width of fabric. So I'm going to grab so I cut my strips this morning. I was like not on the ball. So this one is going to be for my 6-inch hoop, my 6x10 hoop. This is my 8-inch, and that's going to be my 10.5 by 10.5. And then when I'm done, I just fold it up and I just put them. I have a thing that I put. Oh. That's a lie. Then I look around my room and try and find those pieces. But in a perfect world, I would have them all together and all my muslin pieces. And I do. I have a shelf where I keep my muslin pieces. But sometimes they're just all over my room, and I'm just looking for them furiously before the live feed.
I mean, I can either restart.
Do you want to restart it so they can find it?
Well, but so the weird thing is we changed it.
I didn't change anything.
Well, but I did. Okay. I changed both. I was like, this is the March show along, and I changed the date.
It'll show live if people are trying to join live. And can you change it later? Can you change the title?
We can edit it after
then
it's
just leave
over.
Let's just leave it. I'm going to go ahead and hoop
Yeah,
this up.
I'm not sure. That has to do with our streaming software.
So here's my width of fabric. And
I
I know some of you might not like to handle this much fabric.
I'm out.
But for
I'm
me,
taking the dogs.
I just keep it in my lap or it just stays on the floor or whatever. But you can cut it down into more manageable sizes if you want. Hang on, I'm going to switch my direction so I don't have this in my way. Here we go. And just do it however you want to do it, right? Like, it's a free world here, a free embroidery world. I'm just going to go ahead and hoop this up. I also carry, so I use the 90 inch because I just prefer, like, you know, the longer the better. I carry 60 inch, and a lot of people like the 60 inch instead because it's not as long. So there's less to manage. So I'm going to just hoop up. Get in there. There we go. I just needed something underneath. I like to gently grab the sides and just pull in a little bit just to make sure it's nice and flat. And because I think in my thing, I said we were going to start with, these are my like projects that I'm working on now. So this is going to be the new digital dealer mug rug. Isn't it adorable? So cute. I'm going to work on that, I'm hoping today. Oh wait, this is what I wanted right here. Here's this spreadsheet. We're going to start with the inner borders in the 8x12, and then we'll stitch out the deck of cards blocks. That's what we're going to start with. So let's just get the inner borders ready in your little book. Let's get our book out. Oh, wait, there's lots of questions. Let me look at the questions really fast. The notes say, oh yeah, so we know that. Good morning. No sound. Do we not have sound? Can you guys hear me? Is there sound? Just say I can hear you. There should be sound. It states March is upcoming. Just tried to view on YouTube. It's not working on YouTube? I'm watching YouTube in California. Okay, so I think it's working and people can hear. All right. So let's go ahead and look at March and let's get our appropriate goodies. You know, I panic really easily, so I'm glad you can hear, and I'm glad we can just get this started. So this right here, that's what we're going to work on, so you should be grabbing that fabric. It should be, is it 1.5 inches, or it's 1 3/4 inches. So grab that one. Hello from Tennessee. There is sound. Okay, here are my pieces. And you're going to have 2 pieces that are, what? That are 10.5 inches, and then 2 pieces that are 13 inches. Hopefully I cut them right, and that looks right? So you have something that's a little bit longer. When we do the one that's 13 inches, we are going to center the design. We're not going to put the design right up at the top because it's 12 inches and you're going to have a lot of empty space down here at the bottom. So we are going to center that design to the 13-inch piece. So I'm going to grab those 2, and you want to grab your batting. I took my batting, and so you know now I'm hoarding everything because I have a reason to. These are 1-inch pieces. Maybe we should cut them a little bit wider, huh? And I just leave them long, and I'll just trim them down later on. So I'm going to go ahead and put those down. We'll trim those as we go. And as far as thread color, I love buttermilk. So to me, this is my glide thread. So I've slowly been buying a little bit of glide thread. When there's a project, I buy the thread. When I needed orange, I bought all of them because I couldn't tell which orange was which. I also got the glide thread charts. So I have these in the store now. So if you need one, you can get one. And they have the, oh shoot, hang on. Let me decline that. So they have like all the colors. This did not add the new colors. I think they probably added like 40 new colors. Could be more than that. But if you need to match up your glide thread with other brands that you have, you can do that. I am looking for buttermilk. I mean, here's buttermilk. Isn't it just perfect? Well, it doesn't look as perfect here. But it is perfect. It's perfect. I love buttermilk. It's my favorite. If you don't have buttermilk, the other color I really like to use with that muse is sand. Yeah, this one's sand. Maybe sand is more perfect. Or no, buttermilk. Buttermilk all the way. They need to turn up their volume. That happened to me before. Turn up your volume, ladies and gents. I'm so sorry. My gents they're a side note. Isn't that sad? I'm going to make you the main note. I should just go, gents and ladies. How about we do it that way? Can I take that handbook? When you say, oh, you want this? So, you know, Carol, are we talking about this, or are we talking about this little book here? I got these on Amazon, and I love them. And they have these sleeves, and you know, it's like, what, 20 or 30 pages, and I can just put, like, whatever I want in those. But this stuff is all available for you online. I put all of that stuff online. Oh, the glide thread one. I have more at the store. So let's get you one from the store that I haven't spilt coffee on. Okay. I'm a bad coffee drinker. I spill my coffee. So, okay, we're hooped up, ready to go. The design we're going to be using for this is going to be inner bordered. It's the border chevron. We're going to be loading in the 1 by 10 inch and then the 1 by 12 inch. And let's go ahead and get started. I feel organized. Okay, so this is, I wanted to stitch all weekend. And quite honestly, I'm still kind of getting over that cold. So instead, I watched Band of Brothers. I don't know if anyone watched that before. But, oh my goodness. James McAvoy is in that when he's like a little baby boy. I was like, I know that actor. And then I looked it up on is it IMBD or IMDb? And, I was watching it with Kai, and then he watched 2 episodes with me, and he's like, I don't want to watch this anymore. He does not like war movies. And I was like, I didn't know that about you. I'm so sorry. I made you watch this with me. I was like, we never watch anything together. Okay, embroidery. Let's go to our pocket. Oh, let me turn this design. I'm sorry, I'm turning my thing. Yeah, we're going to load the 1 by 10. We're going to load it twice. I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's go here. I'm going to my USB. Good morning, Paula. We also watched, what's that show called? What's Left of Us? I watched that again. The episode with the grumpy guy from Parks and Rec. Okay. We are going Cuties Quilting. And I am going to load in, what was that one again? Was it called Chevron? Let's get the book. This is how bad my brain is that I can't remember from 1 second to the next. But we're doing inner border, yeah, border chevron. So let's go ahead, border chevron right here. And let's load our 1 by 10 first. Oh, and let's choose our hoop size. So right now you can see here, or I can see here, that I'm set up to the 10.5 by 10.5. That's not the hoop size we're using. Go to your settings. And I'm going to choose the 8 by 12. If you don't have an 8 by 12 hoop, you can use your 7 by 12. You can use your 6 by 10. You're just going to have to be more creative in how you drop your design in. So I'm going to go ahead and say okay to that. Now I have my outline and I can see exactly where I can place that design. So I'm just going to go ahead. I use my finger for general placement, and then I'll use my arrow for precise placement. I'm going to go edit, move, and you can see right there, I'm still inside my hoop area. I can click it one more over. We're good. What happens if you're 1 click over? When you go ahead to your embroidery page, it'll say you're outside of your frame area. Good morning, Cora. All right. Instead of hitting add, because that takes longer, I'm going to say okay. You're just going to touch that button. It makes a copy. So just touch that. There's your copy. Don't move it with your finger, because now you might move the one behind it. So use your move arrows for this. And we'll space them out later. Next, we're going to go ahead and we're going to place our 1 by 12s. So say okay, and in this case we have to hit add. I'm going to go back to my USB, quilting bundle, border chevron, and we're adding our 1x12. Remember, when we place our 1x12s, we're going to center it to our fabric. We're going to go ahead and touch set. This, I can go ahead and move that with my finger. I'll fix that later on. Now, instead of hitting add, we're just going to go back to our edit. Remember, your edit button will take your color list and it'll just move one on top of the other, either your like color list and what's being stitched out, or your editing options. They're just like layered like that. Part of the hard thing sometimes can be where to find your buttons. I'm not going to move this one with my finger because I'll probably move the one underneath it. And now let's go ahead and just use your move keys and get everything in place. Make sure your spacing looks good. If you need to zoom in, not all machines have this, but you have your zoom in feature. And so you can move it around. But for me, that's a little more confusing right now. So I'm just going to go back to 100%. I'm going to touch this one. I wonder why it won't let me move that now. So for some reason, after I touch that, it won't let me. So I can use my select buttons too to get to where I want. I wanted that one. I'm going to move him over one more click. I'm going to go back to this one, move him up. Is it letting me touch? It is not. One click. And I'm going to click that one up. And I think I look great. All right. Everyone got their things placed? Let me check out my bobbin. And guess what? I have not done a needle change in a while. I am, this is from me sewing. I did a practice zippy bag before the class. Let me get a needle. I mean, sorry, not a needle, but I want a bobbin. My mother-in-law gave me this. Isn't it pretty? I think it's for holding wine bottles, but I think it looks way better with bobbins in it. Although I know some of you would disagree. My wine lovers out there. I drink wine to be social. I much rather have raspberry lemonade. Okay, as far as thread in the top, I really love stitching with, well, you know what? Let's go ahead and put the buttermilk in, and then we don't have to change it out later. But if you look at your instructions, it'll tell you the first couple of colors don't make a difference. But let's just go ahead and put our buttermilk in. Oh, and I'm going to change my needle because I am really bad about changing my needle. Chocolate bonbons. These are my favorite needles for embroidery. And these, we used to sell the Madeira ones, which looked exactly the same, just the like cardboard that it came on said Madeira. But these are Oregon 7511 anti-glue needles, and I don't always need anti-glue. However, I like it because I use spray, and so it's less resistant to get the glue on it. It's like, I don't know what's on it, what kind of coating. The other thing I love about these needles is they're gunmetal. So the color of them, when I put them on top of my machine and I pull it out and I'm unorganized, I don't get them confused with my other ones, which are the regular metal colors. So I always know, oh, that's my embroidery needle. I've not changed my needle out in a while. Michelle Gilmartin at her store, she said she does a spa day for her machines, and once a month everything just gets all new everything. My mind is too unorganized for that. So I shouldn't even tell you this. I change as needed, like when it breaks. That's when I change my needle. Or I feel like sometimes you can hear a thunk thunk sound. Remember, I love this to because I use it over here on my machine. I also use it on my needle because I can kind of peek in there and see where that is. So it should never be loose enough for you to undo by hand. And I don't know if you know this. This is an 8012 Microtex needle. When you wear them out, the color on the very top will start to wear out. So that one can go in the trash can. I'll usually like put it on a scrap piece of fabric or something and then throw them away, and then I try to remember not to reach in to empty out my trash. It's really rare for me to throw away a needle that isn't broken. organized like you guys. I know there's a lot of you that are super organized. And when we tighten, it's like that much of a turn. You are not cranking it, but that's still going to be too tight for me to undo by hand. That's when you know you did it perfectly. And my needles are reproducing. I swear I had one pack in my hand and now I have two. I'm doing magic today. Watch, ladies. It's like the magicians that do the bunnies and then all of a sudden there are two. I have no idea how that happened. How did I end up with two? I don't even know. All right, we are ready to go. A lot, you know, I use a 7511 because I always go bigger needle, bigger hole. And let's go back to this because we are I'm gonna say okay, embroidery. If you look at mine, right now it's breaking it all up. It's doing this one first, that one next, that one. I'm gonna color group. Not all machines have that option. Layout, color group. So now it's gonna do all my placement all at once. All right, let's go ahead and get started. While it's doing that, I'm gonna spray my pieces. I put used needles in a used cinnamon. I need to do that. I need like an old, like prescription bottle. I should do that. Gail Cram has like a pin cushion with all her old needles and it looks like, you know, the villain from Hellraiser. He has all those pins in his head. Okay. Normally I would be using my spray tent. But when I'm doing like binding pieces like this, that's when I get out my spray box, circa 19, like, well, it's not that old, right? 2012 or something. Here's my spray box. Prepare to be disgusted. And here it is. Isn't that gross? All right, I'm going to lay these down. I love my spray box because it's sticky and tacky. And even though that top part is like vertical, and just get a good, you know, my favorite spray boxes at the store are, I can't even believe I show you this. That's how close I feel to you, that you're not going to judge me. At the store we use the snap hoop boxes. The boxes left over from the snap hoop. I should put my batting pieces down too. And you know what? I am going to have to cut these, right? Or I'm not going to have enough. And then I am going to throw away the leftovers. Because enough is enough. Did you see how Marie Kondo, who does like, you know, say thank you to your stuff and then get rid of it, how she's had 3 kids now and she's like, you don't have to focus on being so tidy. And some people are so mad about it. I got these new scissors. Are these like nice? These are Kai, and I can't remember. I should get the box. I just got these because I can't get those Ginkers anymore. They don't make those, and they're so similar. I was like, oh, maybe I'll get those instead. All right, I'm gonna spray everything. There we go. See, this is like vertical and it's not going to fall off. So I love it. Okay, I do not normally spray a lot, but with this, I do. Because I want it to stay down. When I put it down, I don't want it to move. This is actually, and you know what? I messed up here too. Normally what we're doing when I'm doing this now is we are skipping the first placement stitch and we are going right to the batting. And these are 1 1/3, which makes me go, we actually have to cut our batting strips 1 1/4, which I don't think I've been doing. I think I've just been doing them 1 inch. This is for the batting. I'm going to measure it really quickly. Since it's 1 3/4, this should be 1 1/4, and it is. So I'm just going to use my like little 1 inchers But in the future, I'm going to change that on our supply list, that it's going to be 1 1/4 inch. Okay, so what we've been doing, did we ever do that in the other ones? Was I doing 1 1/4? I don't think I've caught that. This is our third one. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these batting pieces. All of this is going to save us time. If it makes you uncomfortable, just do it the traditional way. You're going to take these pieces and you are just going to put them right down the center. And then we're just going to lay down the placement line. Just like that. And this is going to allow us to skip some steps. I'm going to make my next spreadsheet. Did I do them 1 1/4 in the other spreadsheets, or have they always said 1 inch? You do need that screwdriver. That screwdriver, it would be in my top 10. That screwdriver would probably be in my top 5 most necessary things. And we're using some adhesive spray, so using those anti-glue needles will be best too. If you have any dark pieces, get those. Like threads or anything like that sticking up, you don't want those shadowing through. Just like that. Okay, those are ready to just lay down. We're going to skip out several steps. We're going to skip out the step where it wants you to lay down the batting and trim. We're also going to skip the step that we're going to not even lay anything down right now. What I want you to do is I want you to go here. This is where you go forward and backward steps. So that is placement for your batting. Since we're just putting it right down the center of our background piece, we're going to come here. We're going to skip the tack down for our batting because we already cut it 2 size. So Marlene, it says 1 inch. I'm going to change that to 1 1/4 for the next one. And you don't have to actually go through these arrows. I can just touch right in my bar on some machines, not all machines. I'm still in the orange. I don't want to overshoot. This is placement for our background fabric. So go ahead and do that right now. Sorry that I had you do this step. You really didn't need that. And then we're going to lay our batting down. I mean our background piece that already has our other piece centered to it. If you want to, you can give it another shot of spray because we sprayed the other side of that batting. What embroidery machine do you use? I am on a Brother Luminaire. So as far as embroidery machines go, I don't know if you ladies and gents realize this, but Brother is a manufacturer and Baby Lock is a distributor. So Baby Lock, ooh, did I not tighten this on? Did you see that? That is so unlike me. Okay, I didn't tighten that for some reason. It was shaking. Good thing we caught it. That's why you always want to use that to tighten it. I must have just tightened it on and forgotten to use my screwdriver. What happens is if you do not tighten it with a screwdriver, it will shake off. Your needle will hit that. It will break. It will scare you. So always make sure that you tighten that a little bit more with a screwdriver. So the Luminaire and Solaris, I love them both. They're like kids. I love them for different reasons. I did end up getting the Luminaire because I wanted the Disney designs. The baby, if you don't care about Disney, when people come into the store, we will ask them, because we are a Baby Lock dealer and a Brother dealer, so we'll ask them, is Disney important to you? And if it's important, then we always point them to a Brother machine. Baby Lock's going to have its own special category of designs, which are celebrities that they have in there, and they have equally beautiful designs built into them. I am not a Disney person, but I just said to myself, well, maybe somebody I know is going to want me to stitch something that's Disney, and I'll have that opportunity, so I did get the Luminaire. But I love them both. They're both fantastic. Okay. Batting, background fabric. I'm going to lay these down. Let's lay down our 10.5 are they 10 inches? I'm going to go about a 1/4 inch above. And when I say above, I'm going above this top line. I'm just eyeballing it. The other one, I'm going to center to that 12 inch because remember, it's just 12 inches and our fabric is 13 inches. And right here, I can't really push it down because there's no fabric. I mean, there's no machine bed underneath it. This one too, it's, you know what? I'm going to center this one too because look how much I have down here at the bottom. So let's go ahead and center them both. Just make sure they're. So it's about 1/2 inch above and below. 1/2 inch above and below. If you're in a machine that your biggest hoop is 6x10, I mean, to be honest, I think I would just center it on both of them. I know I wouldn't have it all the way to the top and the bottom on the 13-inch piece. Or you can just do your clear blue tiles and do a couple hoopings on that. But you can make it work. I can't believe I'm just catching it now. Were the other ones skinnier? Okay, I'm going to center this one too. So this one, you've got probably about, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch above and below. I'm okay with that because a 1/4 inch is going to get sewn into your seam allowance. So you have about 1/2 inch of stuff that's not going to be with the quilting design. Let's get our last piece. And you might have to lift your fabric up and flatten it when it starts stitching. That's okay. Oop. This one's a little bit. I'm going to move him up the tiniest bit. Here we go. Okay, there is a tack down. We want to do that, and then we want to do the quilting stitch. The tack down is going to go a little bit inside to hold your fabric down, so definitely do that. And I kind of push my hand down as we go just to flatten my fabric out. Have your finger on your start stop button too, just in case you need to reposition it more than you're going to be able to. So you have your start stop button right there. This is going to want to push your fabric that way. So I kind of will, I don't know, I call it tickling. I'm going to tickle my fabric out to the right just to make sure the fabric doesn't get pushed into the left. There we go. Looks good. But see how we have a bubble right here? Sometimes that can push a little too much. So you have your start stop button. Don't be afraid to start and stop it. The hoop I'm using right now is the 8x12, and I feel like it's perfect for these. Okay, I will change those, well, I'm going to look at they must all be 1 3/4, huh? How did I miss that? Because you want your batting to go out a little bit more. Okay. Be ready to stop it if you need to. Look at all the bubbling I have on my fabric. And I'm just going to kind of push it down as I go. Oh, and it's fine. I just smoothed it out as I went. Did it say 10:30? You know what? The sew-alongs I do at 10 because I'm at home. Most everything I start at 10:30 because we're at this store, and our live feed because Patrick and I can't shut up. I'll start those at 10:30. But if it's ever like a Monday, sometimes I'll start them even earlier. Like, I thought about starting this earlier, but I was so happy I didn't. I'm just like been trying to catch up on sleep. Poppy was up at like 5 this morning, and Patrick's been getting the dogs and taking care of them, so I was like, I'll do the morning. But I was scared to go outside because the coyotes were yipping and yapping, and we hear them in our cul-de-sac, like around where we live. It just sounds super close. So I was a little scared to go out there because I think that's what woke her up, is that they were being so loud. And I think a lot of times when they're like that, it means they caught something. Okay, ready to do the quilting stitch. Just go ahead and hit start. While it's doing this, I'm going to get onto, I'm going to go on and see if I'm going to check the sizes of the inner borders. Catch that. I feel silly. Okay, I will be changing the spreadsheets, and so when we're doing the quilting and we are cutting our batting down to size, it's usually 1/2 inch that's going to be taken off the measurement. So it should have been 1 1/4 for your batting pieces, but it's fine. Look, it's going to be so cute. We're going to sew in there. If it was 1 1/4, the batting would have gone out to about here, like where you see that tack down line for the background pieces. So I will fix that, and just remember that. And I'll send a note out to the Cuties group. Anyone not in the Cuties group who wants to be in the Cuties group, because I'll send you a revised spreadsheet. Speak now or forever hold your peace. I've got 2 more pieces, so I've got a little bit of time. I can add you. Where am I going to add that? All right, Miss Pam, I will add you, and Miss Linda, I'm gonna do it right now. I haven't been sending out much stuff. But I'll send a correction and a corrected spreadsheet. Miss Pam, do I have you in my contacts? Do you have my email? Can you email me? Because I have a Miss Pam, but spell R-E-I-D. So I think I need you to email me. I do not go back onto the live feed later on. Linda, I think I have you. Linda, I don't have you either. So you ladies need to, and gents, if you want me to add you, email me. I'm going to put my email into, the YouTube live feed right now. If I can find it. Oh, there. There it is. Let me see if it'll let me add it to the comments. Email me at a1so@gmail.com to be added to the Cuties group. Don't put your email address in this. I'll do that. Okay. So just make sure you email me. I don't know if I have your email addresses, and I will revise the spreadsheet to let you know that this should be 1 1/4 instead of 1 inch. And I don't think it's not going to really make a difference. I've been doing all my other ones just at that 1 inch, not even noticing. Okay. You know what, Linda? It's the other ladies. I mean, I trimmed it down. Somebody told me they did it, and I was like, okay, I'm going to try it. And then Christine Poole is like, I skip all the first steps and I lay my batting right down the center of it. I go, okay, I'm going to try it. And it all worked out great, and it saves so much time. We are done with those. Yay! So when you trim them out, I'm going to trim while we're embroidering, but we're going to leave it on here. I mean, you can leave it on there, and then the whole point of leaving it on the strip is you save so much batting. Oh, I'm wrapped around. Hang on. Let me get my cord unwrapped. Let's go ahead and we're going to hoop up for the next embroidery. Let me get my camera angle so it's nice for us. Patrick said my furniture's ordered, so we are doing a time lapse. I'm getting unique furniture right now. I have a koala cabinet. Don't get me wrong, I love my koala cabinet, but I think it's going to add more space, and it's going to be easier for me to reconfigure if I want. And I'm excited about the unique furniture because the table's set low and your machine stays there whether you're embroidering or sewing. So we are done with this. Let me grab my book. My superpower is losing things. I mean, I don't even leave this area, and I will have lost something so quickly. Oh my God, Joanne! Oh, God. All right. They did not win. So Joanne's asking because my daughter competes in We the People. And honestly, I mean, because you think your kid is the best. I thought they were going to just win. I mean, the team that they lost to, they beat by a lot. In our like here in this area in the what is it, our district, and they lost by 5 points, which isn't much. Okay, but there's a wild card, and so our kids got the wild card, so they are going to go compete out in DC. Oh my God, I have to tell you a funny story about that. Anyways, let me go here. Do I feel, I'm sorry if I'm like disorganized today. It's my brain. I'm feeling a little bit disorganized. We are going to do deck of cards. And deck of cards, those are these blocks right here. I'm going to be working in the 6x10 hoop. If you have a 6x6 hoop, you could work with that as well. I'm going to take this and put this to the side when I have a chunk of time where we can press it and just trim them and iron them out. So I'm going to just put this up here. You're going to grab your batting piece, your muslin piece. That is going to be the 12 inch. I laid mine up here, which doesn't make any sense, but I'm glad I found them. So let's go ahead and we're going to get hooped in the 6x10. You can do this in a 5x7 or a 6x10 or anything bigger. What I found, because our very first sew along, I used the 5x7. and you don't have a full trim line. What I like about the 6x10 is it's going to give you a complete box around your square, which is going to be easier for you to fussy cut and trim around. Whereas with the other one, you kind of had to trim, I want to say it said trim like, you know, 1/4 inch from the design. And I found that I had some inaccurate cuts. So when I went to put it all together, it didn't look good. Oh my goodness. So I find that with the 6x10 and the full cut line around it, it just looks better. And it came together better. So I'm going to take my design, which is going to come in center. I'm going to snug it up to the top, and then we'll go ahead and we'll hoop down our fabric. I'm going to slide this on. So if you have a 6x10, that's my recommendation. Use that over the 5x7. Here we go. No outer borders. We will do the outer borders, but we'll do them in the end. The outer borders just take kind of a long time. It was cool. I mean, I'll have to tell you all about it. I'll tell you guys all about it on the live feed. Says change to a larger frame because I have a large design here and I put on a small hoop. You can just kind of trick it. Just open this up, pull it down a little bit, and that message will go away. And I'm going to go home. That's going to clear our screen. Let's go embroidery to the pocket. And I'm going to do my cuties design. And we're doing deca cards, which is going to be this one right here. Go ahead and select that. Let's choose our hoop size because I'm set up for this 8x12. I'm going to come up here. Let's go 6x10. There are some machines where it doesn't show the 6x10 on there. Go edit, move. I'm not going to move it with my finger because that'll move it left and right. I'm just going to snug it all the way up to the top. Let's put this back on and pull that down. What that does is, by us moving all the way to the top, we're going to save on all that. If you're using stabilizer, it's going to save on all your stabilizer down here, and you're going to be able to like get it as far up as you can go, and you'll save on stabilizer there. I'm going to go ahead and say okay, embroidery, and let's go ahead and follow the directions that are in your book. So for this, and it's all in your spreadsheet, and it'll tell you what page to go to, but I'm just going to turn to the page. Yeah, I want to say they won. They came in first place for districts. We don't know yet, but Violet's group didn't. Her entire team won first or second place. And Violet's group, because there's 6 different units. So unit 1 through 5 all won first or second place, and Violet's unit didn't place. They don't even know yet where they came in. So yeah, we don't know. We don't know what went wrong or what happened. Okay, so what we're going to do first, let's talk about colors and all of that. We're going to do, yes, thank you so much, So Crafty. We need to load our design first, our quilting design first, which I didn't do, and I'm sorry, and I'm talking too much. So, one of 2 things. If you are on the Luminaire or the Solaris, I can go back to my previous screen, and I can go ahead and add that design, and then it will let you sort. So it will let you determine which design is going to stitch first. Not that this is the only machine, the Luminaire and Solaris, that you have that feature. So I'm going to start from the very beginning. I'm going to stop talking so much about things that don't matter in everyone else's life. We're going to come back here and let's go to our quilting design. I'm going to grab my sheet, which has that information on it. Thank you so much for pointing that out. Sometimes I'll catch it and sometimes I won't. We are doing deca cards, and so we want the gnome center. So I'm going to come in here. And we're looking for the one that says Gnome Center. So here is January, February. Here's March. and we are going to be doing the 6x10. So make sure you look and see what the designs say. Mine show the thumbnails really big, and so the titles come up here. Yours may not do that, so it will, but I think they'll come up in this order. You're going to pick the second of the squares. I'm going to go ahead and set that. Don't move your design yet. You're going to layer it, and then we're going to move it in the next screen because it's going to group it. So let's go ahead and touch add, go back to our pocket, and we're going to go Cuties 2. Now add your deck of cards. Set. And before we move anything, you're going to touch embroidery, and that's going to bring you to the screen from which you're going to stitch out. It combines it in this screen. So now it's going to move those together. So we're just going to go to layout, move. If your hoop is on and this tab is down, it will not allow you to move that outside of your embroidery field. Just touch her up until it gives you a knock knock, and that's going to be as far as you can go. Now, if you had Illuminate Stellaris, you could have just hit add, like I said, change the order, and then you would have been all set. And you wouldn't have to load both designs. So we're going to go here. I'm going to change it from layout to this screen, so it's going to show me what's stitching out. First step is going to be placement for your batting. We're going to go ahead and stitch that out. We're not going to do the tack down. So I'm going to go ahead. Color doesn't make a difference right now. I'm just going to leave that color in there. Let's grab our fabric. Here we go with our fabric. You can see I have quite a mess going on here. There we go. Let's do that. Here's our deck of cards. What you're going to grab is you have four of these. And then you're going to go grab one of each of these colors. They should be stabilized with fusible woven, and I use Shapeflex 101. And if you want, you can go ahead and like group these all up. This is your background fabric. Your background fabric is going to be the dot on dot. It's like the white with the small white dot on it. And you should have Shapeflex 101 on the back of that as well. We're going to spray all those. I wouldn't spray everything all at once. I do feel like the stick kind of goes away. I should probably change out my cardboard. But let's just spray our batting and our background piece first, because that's what we're going to lay down. And remember, you have a right and a wrong side. I'm going to spray the wrong side of this. And make sure you're spraying the wrong side of the fabric. I'm going to lay this one down right inside of those lines that the placement line that was just stitched out, and I'm going to lay my background fabric down too. Just going to center it to that. I'm just eyeballing, but before I push it down, I'm going to kind of feel around and make sure there's about an inch all the way around, which there is, and I'm going to press that down. Now we're going to skip some steps. The next step showing on your screen is the batting tack down. We don't need that because we've cut it to size. This step here is the placement stitch, or for the background fabric, we don't need that because we just centered it. This step here is the tack down. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to also do the quilting. Color makes a difference. Recommendation is white. I'm going to take my buttermilk out, and let's put in some white thread. I am doing an order for glide thread, so if there are glide colors that you want, and I'll give you 20% off, just email me. So if you're getting Oh So Delightful for me, I won't get the thread until next week, but I'm not sending out your Oh So Delightful until I have your kits and everything. So if there's glide colors that you want, like I'm ordering a king cone of the white for myself and a king cone of the black. Although I have isocord king cones, I don't know, I just feel like just staying all glide when I do my Kimberbell. So let me know if there's any colors you want. If you need colors for Shout Hooray, if you need colors for Oh So Delightful, and you don't need all of the colors, then just send me a list. So this is the tack down. And then just go straight into, do you have the March kits for sale? I want to say I have a handful of the March kits left. So send me a note, or you can just go on and purchase it on the website. My issue is, okay, and I can make more of them. That Muse, the mustard color fabric, they're sold out of. They're still processing it. I have 2 bolts coming. So I'm making a substitution. I'll show you the substitution I'm making. I'm going to be substituting, because I have a couple kits that I'm going to be doing it, if you're okay. So this is the Muse right here that we just used. I'm going to be substituting this, which is the Make-A-Wish, the yellow, and quite honestly, I think it's just as pretty, if not prettier. So if you're okay with that, but I do have probably a handful, so just go on and purchase it now, because I have a handful of them that are done with the Muse. But look how pretty this would be for your border with this stitching. Gorgeous. I don't know, if I was going to choose, I would just do that over the Muse, which is like, I always like tone on tone if I can do it. Can you do an Oh So Delightful in pink tones? I'm not a fan of the color theme. Are you asking if you could? Because I say, yeah, do it and show it, because it is going to be so adorable. I love it when people just choose their own colors. If you're asking me to do one, no, I won't be doing one, just because of the time I have. Like, I'm going to barely have time to do the one that is kitted. And, but I think it would be fantastic. I love it. Somebody told me they did spring showers with Tula Pink. It was Deanna. And I cannot wait to see. I was like, you've got to send me a picture of that. I'm dying to see it. Is it not allowing you to purchase the March kit? Because I think I took them down because it was stressful, because I want to get you your stuff as soon as you order it. And I'm like, all the kits, I was waiting for like one thing in each kit. And so I might have taken it down, but I did cut more. So Nancy, email me and I'll save you one of those kits. You know, I'm not good at matching fabrics either. So what I would do, if you want to do something that's going to be pink, buy yourself a fat quarter bundle, or buy yourself, just find something. Like, I am not good at matching, and there's no way I would go into the store and pick up 20 different fabrics to go together. That's why fat quarter bundles are amazing. And if you want me to look, I could look and see if there's something that might work for you. But you could look at Moda or like Tula Pink, or just and find a collection that looks great. I'm going to leave that white in. I know it's a little bit hard to see, but I'm just going to do the next step. So actually, it is telling you to use the green. So go ahead, like now we load the embroidery file. It wants you to stitch card 1 placement line, which is going to be right here, and it's asking you to do a green. So I am going to take that white out. I lied. Yeah, I am not great at picking colors out, but I'll just look for the most amazing, I'll look for like the most amazing fat quarter bundle, and I'll do that a lot of the time. I am going to use this color right here, which is Aloe. It's Glide. go ahead and thread up. And we are going to be doing just some applique placement line, tack down line, placement line, tack down line, and trim. All right, go ahead and hit start. It's going to do your first placement line. I want you to, and I had somebody ask me if they could tape instead. Absolutely. I'm lazy, and I think spraying is so much easier. So that's why I spray. But just grab all 4 of these and give them a little shot of spray. You don't have to go crazy. Now they're ready to lay down. Whoop, that's my thread. And the first color they're recommending that you place down is, this is the top one, so it's going to be your solid. Go ahead and just place that down. If you really want to, you could do 2 out of this and just lay it down like that. I'm just gonna lay it down. I'm not gonna worry about it because I cannot continue to hoard it. Whoops. Get your applique scissors. Some of you have ordered the 6-inch from Lori double curved. They've been sold out, but I have 12 on order, so as soon as they show up, I will ship those out to you. I don't know where I put mine, so I'm using my my 4.5 inch. The 6.5 inch are just a little bit bigger. Get yourself double curved scissors. You have the first curve to go over the edge of your hoop, and then the other curve to kind of slope up away from your fabric. So go ahead and trim this. I thought about, do you think a fat quarter? I do not think a fat quarter bundle is going to be enough. You're gonna have to look at the. You probably will have to get some yardage of some of them. Let me slide this down a little more so I can get to this. And they are shipping me my designs, I think, on Wednesday. So if you're chomping at the bit, if you did buy the design, I can probably send you out. Can't send it out yet until they release it. But I will send you the fabric requirements. Fat quarters or a layer cake. I have a layer cake. I'm going to use that. The layer cake, I think, is going to be small because you're going to get 10-inch pieces. But, I mean, that's going to be big for enough, a lot of it. And then you can just add. You can supplement. I love it when people, when they use different fabrics because it's so exciting. Because all of ours are going to look the same. And then when somebody uses something different, it's just, like, exciting to see a totally different look. Okay, we're going to lay down the doodle next. Doodle goes next. Somebody's here. My guard dog is alerting me right now. I cannot wait to do the little leprechauns because did any of you see Lynn Geldmeyer's Lucky Us bench pillow and how cute it was? And how she took the filler block and she added the leprechaun from this onto it? If not, you have to see it. And it's cute. I saw it this morning. And I was like, oh my goodness. Why can't I make my stuff that cute? Okay, go ahead and trim it. You want to trim nice and close. I think this does I call it the Kimberbell stitch. There's like the Kimberbell stitch that kind of looks like candle wicking, but isn't. But if you don't trim close and you have pieces of fabric that kind of peek out underneath, Oh, Paula, did you see hers and like do yours the same? Wasn't it cute? Remember, Lynn is she is our equivalent of embroidery spinal tap. You know how most speakers go to 10, but there's some that go to 11. Lynn goes to 11. I don't know if you ever saw that movie, but every time I think of Lynn's stuff, I think of that movie. I think of Spinal Tap and how she goes to 11. This is like one of the funniest movies ever. Okay, we just did this step right here. If you're doing your instructions, now we're going to put on the bottom one, same step. Go ahead and hit start. There's your placement step. The piece of fabric that we're going to be putting down is going to be the striped one. Direction does make a difference with this. Oh, sorry. No, it's doing the decorative stitch first. Read your directions, ladies. Then you would know it. Decorative stitch. And if you look at your screen too, it's showing you here what it's doing as well. It does show you, like here, sometimes what they show you on the screen and the colors they give you will be different than what you have in your book. So if you decide you want to do your colors differently, you can. I'm just going to use the same green for all of them. So this is step number 5. Step number 6 is going to be what I was talking about, where it's going to do that placement. I don't know why they have you do that now. Maybe I can't explain why. Let's go ahead and do our placement. We're going to lay down our piece, and I would lay it down this way. You could put it this way, but what they're showing in the book, and I think that's pleasing to the eye, it looks like that. So just go on point. Make sure you're laying this down diagonal. For some reason, my thread did not cut. I'm just going to go ahead and cut it. And let's go ahead and make sure we're covering the whole thing. Tack down. And it does that because it's thick. Anytime it does that, kind of pulls that, it's because it's going through something that's thick, and that was going through all the stitching. And this is step number 7. This is the tack down, and then it wants you to trim it, and then it's going to stitch the decorative stitch. Yeah, I'm excited to start Oh So Delightful. I think what we're going to do, you know, because it's fluid and I'm often just thinking about it as it's coming out or happening. I am going to, I want to start the sew along. I want to start the sew along because I don't even know for sure when we're going to get the fabric kits. My rep, I think, says that they're going to ship out around 2/15, but I mean, there's always thousands and thousands of these that they're shipping out all over the country. Sometimes they do, like, I don't want to call it weird stuff, but for one of the quilts, and I can't remember which one, they did the East Coast. They shipped to the East Coast first because EE is in, what are they, in Oregon? And so they wanted them to get them at the same time as the West Coast, you know, because it was going to take longer. But we just ended up getting ours later. So I think they should really ship them in the order in which they're ordered. Doesn't that make sense? Okay, now it's going to do the decorative stitch. So, and I can see my needle's not threaded, so let's go ahead and rethread. I'm going to put my foot up because, look, it's not long enough. And you have to put your foot up to get that slack. So I could go back some stitches, but that was what, like 4 stitches? I guess I should. So this will go forward, this will go back. That'll take me to the beginning of that decorative stitch. I know I've got them all. So I want everyone to have their stuff. So I'm thinking we start maybe the first Monday in March. And what we do in the meantime, for those people that are chomping at the bit, is I might do maybe two of the sewing projects that are available. Let me grab the book and I can show you. I'm gonna grab it in a little bit. My aloe looks pretty dark. I don't know, should I have done it lighter? Because I could have done clover. I'm gonna use clover later on. We'll just leave this one for now. Here's some other colors that I'm gonna... Here's some other greens that I have. Here's some other greens. And I pulled this one because I love this one. This is Isacord. 5633. Okay. Next step. That was step number 8. Step number 9 is placement stitch for the top. That's your last piece of green. It's going to be the green. It's called Make-A-Wish. We're going to use that one. You like the accent, Nancy? Looks okay. While when it does the decorative stitch around this and this, I'm going to grab my, I'll grab my book. My, Oh So Delightful book. We can talk about the first project that we're going to do. But I just want to make sure everyone has their stuff. And then we'll go ahead and we'll start the actual quilt. But we might start with two just of the smaller projects. Which a lot of times I never get around to doing. Just because I'm off to the next, on to the next thing. All right. Trim it. I don't know why I like to just hold my fabric upright. I think I get closer when I do that. Could be my imagination. And if you want to slide your hoop off the machine, go ahead and slide it off the machine too. Because you might be turning your fabric while you're cutting. I usually do that if I have really round stuff or lots of innies or outies. But if you watch me cut, you're going to see I cut with my left and my right hand. I am a dominant right hand person. If anyone were to ask me, I'm a righty. However, I've always cut with my left hand. I think because I'm so good with my right hand, it just makes it easier for me to swap back and forth. So that's what I do. All right. Now you're going to go ahead and you're going to do the decorative stitching for number 4. And then you'll do the decorative stitching for number 1, which they have a stop in there, and I think that's to accommodate if you want to do different colors. I'm going to go grab my Oh So Delightful book, which is in the other room. I'll be right back. go ahead and hit start and just do the next one. Of course I can't show it to you because I think I left it at the store. Oh wait, I'll show you this. Here is, so this is I think this is their like newest catalog, but these kind of show you the other projects that are going to be available that are part of it. I can't decide which one to do. I don't know. I love the scissors. I think I might do this one because it's so darn cute. And guess what? I did order, so your kit, when you get your Oh So Delightful kit, dealers were able to buy like a dealer pack like this. There's the little project. Yours is going to come in the collector box. There is a lot of stuff in here. This is like heavy. So, the buttons. I've been looking for buttons because people have asked about like sets of buttons that are going to go like Marlene. I found some that I ordered. They were Lori Holt, but they were kind of the same color scheme. So I'll let you know when those are available. The other thing that is on the site right now, if you want to look, I just got this into Spoonful of Sunshine. We were doing some class and I was like, we're doing, I called it Pocket Full of Sunshine because I never say the right stuff. That's just so me to call it Pocket Full of Sunshine instead. Let's rehoop. Stop talking, Jeannie. Focus. Focus on the task at hand. So I'm just going to pop this up. Do not trim it out yet. All we're going to do is we're going to scoot it up. And if you're doing this with stabilizer, same thing. If you're doing cutaway stabilizer and you are on your 12-inch roll, you can just scoot it up. I leave my stabilizer at this point. You know how expensive stabilizer is. If you were to cut it to size beforehand, you're going to lose everything under here. You're going to use everything under here, and then you'll lose it again with your next hooping. But if you do it this way, we're just going to scoot it up. I'm going to hoop it up. I'll have like 1/4 inch that's hanging underneath. Or just like a little hair. Whatever you want to do. There's a no-sew area. Don't ever measure the inside of your hoop and think that's your hoop size. There's a no-sew area. I need to open up the bottom of my hoop a little bit. So I'm going to do that to fit it in because that's really bulky. And we're going to press all that out. So it's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. Oh, the other thing you need to know, ladies. I got Taylor Swift tickets. That was like one of the saddest days when I didn't get them. You know, Violet's a Swiftie. And she's a child that really doesn't ask for anything. And I think it was karma. I think I was I was being a little cocky. Okay, I'm going to hand tighten, which I can't tighten anymore by hand. I'm going to go ahead and pull inward a little bit. You never want to distort the weave of your fabric, so don't pull in too much. When Taylor Swift tickets went on sale, I was like, oh, no problem. I'm totally going to get them. Called my girlfriend up. I was like, I'm going to get 6. Don't worry about it. You want to go? And I ended up not being able to get any. And so I had said to Violet, I was like, oh, we're going to get to 6 tickets. Don't worry about it. She's like, Mom, knock on wood. Don't say that. Knock on wood. You don't know. And then I ended up not getting any. There is actually one of the gals that works for us, if anyone needs them, because I think she's got 4 more. Okay, let's go ahead and get started again. Let me focus on this for 1 minute. We're going to start off with, how about I slide my hoop on? It starts right back at the beginning. We didn't load the design. It's already snugged up to the top. Go ahead and do your placement line. Color doesn't make a difference, so we can just leave that in, although we are going to switch to white so that we can do the tack down, and then we can do the quilting stitch. Go ahead and get your spray tent. You're going to spray those same pieces, batting, background piece, and the 4 pieces that are for the applique. Let's do batting and backing first. Yeah, Karma was kicking me in the butt because it was like, oh, you think you are so great at getting tickets? Maybe not. I'll be a little more humble now. There we go. We are ready to place those, and now we're going to skip some steps. We will see you later, Karen. Have fun at your meeting. Okay, this piece goes down. We're going to place the next one. Good morning, Utah. I love Utah. Okay, let's talk about the next steps. Remember, turquoise is placement, orange is tack down. We are going to go ahead and skip the tack down for the batting. Our batting's already down and trimmed. We're skipping the placement stitch for your background piece because we just centered it to our backing. We're going to do the tack down here, and we'll do the quilting. Change out your thread color. And you don't have to do white, but there's a lot going on, so a lot of times I do my background quilting in just the color of the background fabric. The other thing I love to do for quilting, I love variegated. Variegated makes my heart happy. I'm putting my white thread in. You need those for your granddaughter. Okay. What are you making today? Annetta, we are working on cuties. We're doing March cuties. I can't remember who So Crafty is. And then you'll be sitting right next to me. Because she's got 6 tickets in a row, and I took 2 of the 6. Won't that be fun? Because I've been trying to get Violet to, I was like, do any of your friends want to go? And, everyone, it's spring break. It's senior year. A lot of them are doing senior trips and things like that. So, or they're doing family trips. So, yeah, it'd be great to sit next to somebody I know. That's the tack down for the fabric. Now we're going to do the quilting. So email me. Email me and I can give you Chelsea's information. Yes, Miss Joyce, I did there's a schedule up. And I did what did I do? I don't even know what I was going to say. But Joyce, I'm going to add you to the cuties list to make sure that you have you get the emails. I don't even know if I sent out an email reminder about this, but there is, I want to say it's the first Monday of every month is when we're doing the cuties. I didn't even talk about it in the live feed. I have not been on my game. It's not you, it's me. I'm adding you to cuties too, Joyce. Oh, I did want to let you know, if you're on the feed today, I just did a pre-order. There's 2 new products coming out. They're on the website at 20% off. But and I'll be announcing it during the live feed tomorrow. But if you've been waiting for the woolly felt lemons and berries, that's up. And I think they're going to be shipping those out on Wednesday to me. If you do the pre-order later on, they'll be shipping me out more next week as well. But I did pre-order a certain amount. And then the other thing that is up is the new pillow, the 19-inch by 19-inch pillow blank, and it's the sand one. So they've redone it. It's like a different quilting design, but that's up there at 20% off too. So you can go onto the site and purchase both of those two things. I think I did put them on the promotion page. Let me check right now. The day. The pillow's not up there, so let me put the pillow up there right now. Promotions. Move to the top. What? Why isn't it there? I made a mistake. Now. Okay, and get your next 4 pieces of fabric and spray those. And if you don't want to spray, tape. I'm going to tape. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is our webpage, promotions. Let's see if it made it up there. These 2 things are out. So these are going to be the wool and felt lemons and berries. And I think they're an accompaniment to Oh So Delightful. I think that's what my rep said. And then these are out. They re-released these. They changed it to a new quilting design. These are the pillow blanks that we used for the reading pillow. So those 2 things. All right. Hopefully I remember to talk about it in the live feed tomorrow. We'll see. The brain doesn't always work. All right, we are going to change out our thread color. Go ahead and change it to whichever green or whichever color you're using. What was I using again? Work brain. Aloe. Aloe. Yeah, you can just float them too because it's kind of thick, right? Because you have the shape flex on the back of it. So if you want to just float them, float them. Oh, my barista is delivering my coffee to me right now. Thank you. How did I get so lucky? I was, Patrick, what did he do for me yesterday? Something so sweet. And I was like, did your dad was he like this with your mom? And he was like, no. And then I thought about it. His dad, it was totally like Mad Men days, right? So he worked and then came home and Patrick's mom made him a cocktail and dinner. So, let me grab my fabric. I didn't even spray mine. Give me 1 second. I'm so chatty today. I'm so sorry. Okay, let me try and shut up. We are laying down the green first. Let's put that down. So in my house growing up, my mom did everything. Literally, my mom, she used to cut my dad's toenails. Or my dad would, eat watermelon and make a mess, and she would, wipe him up. She'd, take a napkin and clean him up. That's how I grew up. So, Patrick, I don't know how I got so lucky. Patrick makes me my coffee. He brings it to me in bed. I used to do all the laundry. So before I worked, I did, and quite honestly, I really enjoy the domestic diva. We call them domestic diva duties. I enjoy all that stuff. I enjoy cooking. I don't mind doing the dishes. When I started working, and a lot of times I work at the store more than Patrick. So Patrick does a lot of the things that I used to do. Like, I don't mind doing the laundry. I like looking for the spots and like spraying and treating them. Patrick doesn't do that stuff. Like, I don't mind folding laundry. So I kind of miss some of that stuff, and like I look forward to the day that I take that stuff over again. But he does a lot of that stuff, and I so appreciate it, especially coming from a house where, like, I don't know if my dad ever did a dish when my mom was around. All right, we're going to do the placement stitch for the next piece. You hit like all my yapping away. Okay, we're going to put down the doodle. I feel like we're not going to get through as much today because I've been talking so much. And when I talk, I don't focus. Okay, let's lay this down. I mean, I'm sure you grew up in households. A lot of people grew up in households where mom did everything. I just feel like Patrick's just a catch. I got so lucky. So hopefully my kids find themselves a catch too. Yeah, some big shoes, and Lynn, you had a catch too, I think. From the way you talk about stuff, I think you had a great one too. I didn't see anything. Oh, you didn't see. I think it's up there. I don't know. Okay, well, I'll have to check on that. I'll send an email to Christine. Because we got the kits ready. They're all ready to ship out. So I was looking for people to sign up, but maybe it didn't get put up there. We are lucky because some people don't even have they never have a great catch. So I feel lucky. All right, placement stitch. Your next piece of fabric you're going to lay down is the striped piece. What are the lemon and berries for? They're to put on your shelf and look at and go, oh, those are so cute. I'm just kidding. I honestly don't know. Like, I think, well, so, I don't know why it doesn't cut after this one. But when they did oh my God, the mushrooms, were those so cute? Those were for spring showers. And I sent a note to my rep being like, is this like a limited run? Am I not going to be able to get these? Should I order like 50 sets of these? And she thought we'd still be able to get them, but you never know. I think they're an accompaniment. She said that they were accompaniment to Oh So Delightful. I'll have have to look at it again. I'm not sure where they go. Let's look at the quilt. Well, looking at this, I have no idea where they would go because it's lemons and berries. And I don't see any lemons and berries here. I guess you could use, there's like a little strawberry, so I wonder if you could use that for the top of the, I gotta make sure this is stuff you guys can look at. Oh, look. Oh yeah, these are my wholesale prices, so I can't show you this, but I'll show you this picture. See how it has the little strawberry that goes on the end of the pincushion? Let me see where the lemons go. Oh, yeah. But are these in your kit? Are these in the embellishment kit? So here's like a strawberry here that's coming off of the quilt. I just don't see... Sorry, I would totally just like show this to you, but these are all my wholesale prices, so I can't. You guys know wholesale, right? We're just, well, just in case you don't, I better not talk about it. It probably gets me in trouble. I don't like getting in trouble. I'm a rule follower. I got in trouble with Kimberbell because I posted the video to, it was the North Pole event. And they were like, you can't post those because that's a paid for event. And I was like, oh. And then when we did the last event, I made them, you know, I did them unlisted like I was supposed to on YouTube. And then I put them in the Facebook group, which I made public. And then it's like 3 days for it to make it private. And I was so scared I was going to get in trouble. I don't like being yelled at. Okay, I think it does the decorative stitch. Yeah, looking at my screen, it's going to do the decorative stitch. We're going to do all of these, or should we just not do them all? You know what? Let's just do these. You can finish the other ones on your own. And let's go ahead and do the triangles. Because these are easy peasy. Now you've done 2, now you know what to do. Oh my god, the bees are so cute. And when I couldn't get them, I went on to like Etsy and I went on a couple of places to see, you know, and people hand make those little felt things and they were pricey. So if you like them, get them. Maybe they'll go with the new Bella box. I don't know. That was tough. So, Lynn, I had a really tough time getting mine in too, and I had to re-sew the seam. So, go ahead and hit start placement line, then we're going to lay down your last piece, which is going to be Make-A-Wish, the green Make-A-Wish. When I did the other one, I really, I tried, let's say this is your pillow. I tried to take that pillow and stuff it all the way to the one side and then kind of flip it and then push it over. I don't know if there's a trick. It's just tough. Just expect that you might get a busted seam and you might have to re-sew it. I think that's it because that pillow's plump. I guess you could make your own pillow form and make it not as plump. Maybe. But it was tough to get in there. Just imagine you are birthing the baby and do everything you can not to have to stitch it up again. You know, the other thing is, I think if, you know, now that you say that, it was 8 by 8 pieces. I wonder if you did 8 by 7 instead because it overlapped quite a bit. I don't know if it needed to overlap quite so much. So maybe if we cut those down to 8 by 7 instead, it would have been easier. Because it just, I think it's because it overlapped too much. Those are good questions. I should have tried that. I should have asked myself that question beforehand and tried it on the next pillow to see if that would have helped. You could do a zipper too. But an envelope back is so nice. I feel like envelope backs are so easy. All right, decorative stitching. Let's get ready for the triangle blocks that we're going to be doing. Because once we do that, we're just going to hit start again, and then it's going to do the stitching the same. We call that the Kimberbell stitching. So let's talk about the next blocks. All right, let's tidy up. My deck of cards, I'm going to finish these later. I know usually we just finish them all at once. Let's go ahead and just finish those up later. Is that everything? I'm missing my background. Here it is. Here's my background fabric. I just want to keep it all together. Lucky, and I gnome it. Who's like the penny one at Kimberbell that always... I'm just going to hit start on my machine. Lucky and I know it. All right. We are going to... Lucky and I gnome it. We're at page 31. If we look at our little spreadsheet, we're going to be loading in... Oh, you know what I forgot on here? I didn't put the 9.5 by 14 inch hoop, which I'm going to be using to do these pieces right now. And let me grab that. I also, for the 19.5, I think you're going to cut your muslin 14.5. Wow, I really dropped the ball on this one, didn't I? So here's this. Here are the pieces we're going to be putting down. We're going to be, I think we're chenilling it. So let me grab some stuff. Let me grab my hoop. Oh my goodness. How did that happen? I'm just laying this down here. Okay, 14.5 should be good. For your 10.5 by 10.5, do 15.5 strips. For your 14.5 inch hoop, do and it's 14.5 this way. But for this way, we're gonna go 14.5 this way. Let me cut that piece of muslin because I didn't pre-cut that. What is wrong with Chenille today? Here we go. Right. Zipper back does look so professional, and I love doing zipper back on my I like doing zipper back on my serger. I love doing stuff like that on the serger. I do all my cording on the serger. I do my zippers on the serger for stuff like that. Okay, we are going to be doing the triangular pieces, and you have an option. You can do it in your 8 by 12, or you can do it in your 9.5 by 14. Again, the 9.5 by 14 is going to give you, I think, more like an outline to like trim by. I did the first ones in the 8 by 12. And it was totally fine. So you can do them that way or you can do them this way. You're going to have those cut lines. You have like the little stitch lines that show you where to cut, and you have that on both of them. So if you don't have this hoop, don't despair. You can do them in the 8x12. I think there are instructions also to do it in the, are there instructions to do it in like the smaller hoops? I'd have to look. Still don't like the way that. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm already tightened up. This was kind of already sized because the last thing I did were these. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out. So we have 2 of these done. We have our inner bordered. So you know what to do. You're just going to go ahead and unhoop and rehoop. Once there's one design, you can cut the other one off if that's like bothering you to have all of that fabric hanging off. But you don't have to. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. Depends on what's going on. Let's go to the machine. I'm going to slide on this hoop. Yeah, if you don't want to bust that seam, yes, you can just put a zipper in. You put a zipper in your fabric and just sew right side to wrong side. Just make sure you haven't, your zipper's not totally closed because you need to be able to turn it right side out. Okay. Whoops. Say okay. Whoops. Sorry about that. Drunken filming arm. Okay, I'm going to go home. That's going to clear my screen. Embroidery. And should I do a zipper back for this pillow? Wait a minute, this isn't a pillow. This is table topper. Okay, we're not going to do a zipper back, but maybe I should. I might turn this one into, would it be fun if I just turned this one into a pillow and I do a zipper back on the serger and like film it? We can maybe do that. Okay, that's me getting ahead of myself. Quilting bundle. Let's look at our book and see what design. I'm just going to go to my spreadsheet. And we are doing Lucky and I Gnome It. And the quilt design is No Triangle March. Gnome. Square, sunburst, circles, triangles. We're looking for triangles. March, right here. Centers and triangles. And I'm going 9.5 by 14. And you just work within whatever hoop you have. And here's our little gnome. Where's my book? Right here they're showing you, so the gnome swings around. So I'm going to go edit, rotate. He's going to go one to this direction. And then we're lining up. So those black lines are going to go right on the outside lines. So go ahead and just move it, scoot it to the left. And I'm looking at the black lines and making sure that, one more click. Okay, that looks perfect. So they're right on top of the outside triangular part. I'm going to go ahead and say okay. Embroidery. They're combined here. So now we're going to move them. So layout, move. And I have my hoop on with my latch down so it won't let me go outside of my embroidery field. And I'm going to scoot them all the way up. And it's going to stay within that embroidery field. Everyone have that? The other thing we can do too is we can put this into memory. So go ahead and do that right now. Put it in memory. Save it on your machine. And that way we don't have to load this again. When we do the next one, we're going to go ahead and we're going to rotate it. And we're going to put it over on this side. We'll just rotate it. And so you won't have to continue to load those two and move them around. Okay. First thing we're going to do is going to be the placement stitch for, let me go back over here. Sorry. Layout. There's placement stitch for your batting. All of that. We're going to do that one. Color doesn't make a difference right now, so I'm just going to leave this in here. Let me move these threads though, because they're going to get knocked off. Let's go ahead and spray your batting and your background fabric. freezing and pixelating. Hey, Renata, are you on YouTube or are you on Facebook? Oh, wait a minute. Do you see that? I don't know why that didn't catch. So I might just do that beginning part again. For some reason, I at first I thought, oh my God, did my hoop move? I was so nervous, but it looks like it just didn't catch. I'm gonna do that beginning part because I do want, like, well, this is just a placement line. I have this part and that part. I'm not gonna do it again. If I had to be perfectly inside of that, I would, but my batting for this is a little bit bigger. The reason I don't cut it to size is because, you know, it's angled. So I just, for this one, we are gonna do the tack down, the batting tack down. Let me grab my pieces. I was a little panicky because guess what? I ran out of best press. Like the things that I panic about that I don't have would be my spray and my best press and needles, muslin, like those things. Oh, and shape flex. If I don't have my shape flex, that makes me a little nervous too. Okay, so I'm gonna spray that and let me spray my background piece too. You have a right and a wrong side, so make sure you're spraying the shape flex side. If you have like a dark piece of anything, pick it off because it'll shadow underneath. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna lay this down. This is gonna be bigger. I think, I can't remember if I, like in my instructions, I cut my pieces, I want to say 10.5 inches and then I trim them down. Okay, you're going to do your tack down and we're going to trim. But see how you're like, I don't know, it doesn't say straight and make sure it's good. So I don't cut this one to size, and I think it's, I don't know if it's me, but I've always thought it's just going to be harder to cut this perfectly. I can make a template. You're welcome. And if I ever pronounce somebody's name, I mispronounce it, I apologize. Get your scissors ready. I'm just going to use my snips. Find them. Where are all my scissors? Did I use them? I'm not seeing my snips. Which makes me go, did I leave them at the store? Because I bring stuff back and forth. I like having my own stuff. Okay, I'm going to use these. Let's go ahead and just trim that away. Embarrassing story about mispronouncing somebody's name. When I graduated from college, this is so embarrassing. I felt so stupid. My dad's a pediatrician, so I always worked in his office, like during the summers and stuff. So I was looking for actually, this was in between my junior and my senior year. I was just looking for a part-time job, so I looked at a doctor's office, like a local doctor's office. I went to Boston College, so it was in was it in Chestnut Hill or Needham or somewhere nearby? I used to take the train to get out there, and I saw an ad in our school paper. They needed somebody to work in the office, and I was like, oh, that's perfect. I know how to do that kind of stuff, like EOBs and like just like, you know, payments and stuff like that. So the woman's name was Ginny. Yeah. you guys are going to think I'm so stupid. Her name was Ginny, spelled Ginny. And so when I called to ask for her, I asked for Guinea. Who's gonna do that? And I remember the girl who answered the phone kind of chuckled when I asked for her. Anyways, I ended up getting the job. I worked there for for that summer, and then I also worked there like a little bit after I graduated. So I try to pronounce names right, but sometimes I get them wrong. Ginny. They're all very nice. Okay, I'm going to skip the next step. Next step is going to be placement stitch for the fabric we already know. We're going to just kind of center it over that. So I'm just going to go here and I'm going to fast forward. That's placement stitch. I am going to do the tack down. Tack down is in orange. Let's go ahead and lay our fabric down. People mispronounce my name all the time. Just peek underneath. Make sure you have tons of fabric. You could cut these down smaller. They don't have to be this big. Color makes a difference for your tack. Well, you don't have to do the green, but I'm just going to switch out to white right now because I'm going to do the quilting stitch in white as well. Slide that back on. Carriage is going to move a little bit. And you could probably just lay this down again when you have shape flex on the back. It's firm, you know, so you don't necessarily have to spray. After it's done with this, go ahead and do your, you're just going to do your quilting stitch. And then I'm going to get my next pieces ready. Okay, I'm going to give it a go. I don't know. Is it Jolyn? Is it Jolyn? Is that Jolyn? Jolyn, is that how you... Am I saying that right, Shannon? Giving it a go. So I didn't pull back my protective coating from my green piece yet because I thought, let me look here in my, I mean, this is what I have left over from all the Kimberbell projects I've done. But I thought, let me look in here and see what I have in here first. And if I have those green pieces, then I don't have to use that and I can just go into somebody else's kit. So I'm going to go through here and just see what I have. It looks like I just have this big piece. But keep these. Like, keep your pieces and, you know, you can conserve and, like, use. It is a pretty big piece. But maybe, and we gave you a little bit of extra because it was like, I want to say it was 6.5 by 6.5, but what am I going to do with an extra inch? So we just cut them straight up. Joe Ellen. Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten that one. I would have grouped my letters differently. So we're going to get out the little pieces that go with this. Did I already take them out? Oh, I did. And I put them right here. So for each one of these, you're going to have the bodies. You're going to have 4 of the, oh no, one of those. That's going to be, this piece right here is for the body. The beard. You're going to have 4 of these. Now, I had in the instructions, and I think I sent you something, one piece, put the shape flux on the one piece, and then you're going to have 3 pieces that don't have it, because we're going to be chenilling. So just grab, and if you put shape flex on all of them, that's fine. It's just going to be a little bit more material to get through. But one piece that has the shape flex, and then 3 that don't. So grab those. And then you're going to need the glitter for the hat, and I wonder if this is going to be enough for all the hats. If not, no big deal. Now, another thing that's going to be coming in handy is going to be a chenille brush. Where's my chenille? I love my chenille brush. I gotta find that, so I will find my chenille brush. I mean, they say a file or a chenille brush. The chenille brush is going to be, oh, here it is. Any brush that is kind of hard and abrasive, that is going to do the job for you. And then the other thing you're going to need is you're going to need your chenille cutter. I love my chenille cutter. So let me go ahead and grab my chenille cutter, but these are the things that we're going to be using. So, one of these that has the backing on it. If you don't have the backing on it, it's not going to make a difference. It's going to be hidden. And then your glitter, chenille brush, and your chenille cutter. If you don't have a chenille cutter, I would get one. They're worth having. And it's nice if you know where it is. I will find mine. It is here in my sewing room. But it looks like this. And it's so nice because it has all different settings. Like you can cut skinny, wide, and it goes right down the center. And you just kind of like slot it in there. And I'll show it to you when I find it. All right, let's go ahead and get started with this embroidery. So we just did the background quilting. My mom's Korean name, which most people called her, was Chunja. And, but she, you know, when Koreans would come to the States, they would choose an American name, and hers was Susie. I don't know why she chose Susie, but she did. We're not going to do this step, because that's going to be if you aren't doing the background quilting, you're going to do that, like, kind of target stitch. So we're going to skip that. We're going to skip this too, which is going to just, it's going to just sew the fabric down so it doesn't move around. So we're skipping that as well. We're going to start with this right here. And they are asking you for like a lighter green. And so I'm going to go ahead and use this one right here for that green. It kind of matches the fabric. This is Sage. Let me go ahead and change out my thread. We are on step number 3, which is stitch the body placement line. I'm going to give that fabric a little shot of spray along with the white piece of fabric that has the shape flex on it. Go ahead and hit start. Let me grab my fabric and the white piece. And I'm just spraying that one white piece that has the shape flex on it. And the body. My middle child has... I kept my... I didn't have a middle name. Koreans don't give their kids middle names. So I didn't have one. I'm just going to put this down. You have plenty to do like 2 of these if you wanted. I'm just going to lay it down like this. We are going to trim as, are we trimming as desired? Let's see what it says. We're trimming close to the stitch line. So I kept my body first. Am I doing the wrong thing? Oh no, this is right. This is the body. Did I say something else? I probably said something else. I depend on you. So if I'm doing something wrong, stop me. Joanne Patterson is very good at stopping me. And then we're going to trim this close to the stitch line. Yeah, so since I didn't have a middle name, I just kept, I'm a Lee. And if you look at me, I look more like a Lee than a Mulligan. I've had people meet me, and you know, they've just known my name, and then they meet you, and you know when you're expecting something different. Oop, wasn't very close. Oh, I mean, this looks like it could be the beard, right? Like it looks more like the beard than the body for sure. But yes, this is the body. All right. That was step 4 in our instruction book. Let's go ahead and turn the page. Stitch the beard placement line. It is asking for white, and we're going to place the beard fabric with fusible backing right side up. Oh yes, yeah, right side up. The fabric, the fusible backing will be down underneath. All right, go ahead and put your white thread back in. Sometimes I have to think. I always scored poorly on reading comprehension. And I find that sometimes when I'm doing embroidery, I read what my mind thinks should be happening next. Like it makes it up. Because I think something else is coming. Okay, grab your white piece of fabric. We are going to put it right side up. So you want the scrolly right side up. Go ahead and just cover that area. And we are going to do the tack down. Step number 6 says, stitch the beard tack down line, trim the fabric close to the stitch line. So Patrick's a Mulligan, which you would think he's mostly Irish, but he's more English than anything. Okay, we're going to trim this close to the stitch line. Ooh, I watched that movie about which I didn't know anything about. Was it called The Empress? And it was about the Queen of Prussia, and it was so fantastic. I don't know if it's like I think it might be, and she just had a tragic life, but it was so good. I think it was called The Empress. And I knew nothing about Prussia. There we go. Next step. Now we're going to do the hat. You might as well heat up your iron right now. It says stitch the hat placement line. Color does not make a difference. I'm just going to leave the white in there. And then we're going to stitch the hat tack down line. Looks like they're doing, I think they're doing that Kimberbell stitch. So I might pick a green that's going to match that hat fabric instead of just doing that. But I'll just put in white for now. Slide that on. And here's my green. Aloe looks good. I'm just going to use the aloe with that. I am going to give my glitter a little shot of spray. Let's see what we can get down. Let's see, what is the best way to use this? We are going to trim this right to the stitch line, I'm pretty sure. Trim glitter close to the stitch line. So I'm just going to move it a little outside of the stitch line. Make sure I'm covering the whole thing. I'm going to change my thread out. Oh, you know what? I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to leave the white because after this, it's going to ask for black. I'm just leaving the white since it says it doesn't make a difference. I'm going to believe him. Ooh, I'm so glad that ended up getting to you so fast, Marlene. We have Ryan working for us, and he's so cute. He does not like making phone calls. So every time he makes a phone call and talks to a customer, I'm always like, you did it! Okay. What size hoop is that? I'm behind even though I was ahead at the beginning. I am using the 9.5 by 14 inch hoop. Has Patrick done one of those 23 and me's? You know what? He has never done one of those. Maybe I should get him one for, I'm going to get him one for Valentine's Day. Because that would be interesting to see, like, what he really is. But I think he's mostly English. I've never done one because I'm like, I don't want to be disappointed when it just says Korean, Korean, and more Korean. But I've been, I think I read something or watched a show where they said all of Asia was conquered by Genghis Khan and he just, like, had his way with women everywhere. What if I'm a descendant of Genghis Khan? And the other thing is, like, Korea is a peninsula and they were constantly being conquered by, I think, the Chinese and the Japanese. And, like, what if I am not all Korean? Maybe we should both do them. Won't that be fun to see? Maybe I'm Japanese, or maybe, I don't know. Do they just say Eastern Asia though? I don't know. I just didn't want mine to be super boring, which I thought it would be. But I think everyone's related to Genghis Khan. Okay, I didn't heat up my iron like I told you to. Go ahead and heat up your iron. You can use a press cloth or a Teflon sheet. We're going to give that a little press. There we go. I love this. This is my Goddess Teflon sheet. Or what I use is whatever's laying around, like, oh, there's a piece of muslin right here. That's perfect. I'm just going to use that. So I'm not really picky. I just use whatever is around. And they say to go ahead and press it for 15 to 20 seconds. So you can just hold it down and just count. You could double sheet. What I like about this sheet is it's not super thick. So it will protect. But it is not, oh shoot, I have that on top of my iron. No, they tell specific Asian. My husband, but showed some Korean, yes! Isn't that, and I think there was a lot of travel between Korea and Japan. I'm going to do it. Cheryl, I'm going to do it too. Because wouldn't that be so much fun to find out, oh my goodness, I'm not all Korean. I'm like part Chinese and part Japanese too. And a lot of people when they meet me will ask me, more people will ask me, I don't know why they think this, but they'll ask me if I'm Japanese instead of Korean. I think they think I look more Japanese. So maybe I'm Japanese. All right. Here we go. So we just did, now we're going to do a bunch of stitching, and here are your colors that you're going to be using. Black, I'm going to be using, I think I put cork for the arms, just for the little arms, and then I'll be using, I was going to just use my aloe green. So let me go ahead and put my black in. If I was doing something like really fine, like lettering, I would put in a matching black bobbin, but we're not, so I'm just going to put just black. Let's see if I can find black. Now, Cheryl, I'm getting all excited to do it. To do my ancestry. I'm going to get that for Patrick and I. It's so it'll be romantic. We'll do the little swab. Do they have you spit or is it a swab? What do they have you do? Okay, here it's going to stitch out the shoes. Then we're going to do the arms. And I was going to do cork. This is the color I'm going to do for the arms. If you ever start stitching black and you're seeing white, stop it. Just stop your machine and just switch out to a black bobbin. I don't use a matching black bobbin, but I think it's good to have in your supplies to have black and red for sure, because it's just the high contrast. It just shows sometimes. So Cheryl, did he show as having any Chinese? I mean, Genghis Khan was he Chinese, or was he Mongolian? I can't remember. Okay, I'm going to put cork in. I'm going to do his little arms. His little skinny arms. Philippines, maybe. Oh, so Renata says swab and Cheryl says spit, so they could be different. They use two different databases. You know what I think is amazing? How many crimes they're solving because people are in the database for 23andMe and Ancestry.com, so they're tracking down, relatives of people that have committed crimes. All right, now it wants you to do the little, and I think I want a brighter green. I'm going to do this one right here. Should I do that one? Because you're going to be doing, this is going to be for the hands. It's also going to be for the darker, it's also going to be the darker clovers. So, actually, I don't know if I like either of those. Give me just a second. Because for my lighter clovers, let me grab two greens. Because I love those murder mysteries. And they have a lot of crimes that they're solving because of those. Oh, I like this. I'm going to use that one. And then for my lighter green, I am going to use, I think I want to use this. Oh, that's too bright. What should I use? That's okay, right? I'm going to go that green. Hopefully that works out. We'll just do that. I put some green colors in there, like I'd laid them out beforehand, but now I'm just changing my mind. He was Mongolian. Was he Mongolian? Genghis Khan? Okay. Somebody just asked about the 5x7 embroidery So Miss Carol, you ordered the 5x7 embroidery, but you think you need to upgrade to something? Yes, you do. So as far as machines go, when I got my first machine, I bought a machine that had a 4x4 hoop. My first embroidery machine was a Baby Lock Sophia, because I was making dresses for my daughter, and so was my friend Erica. But Erica's dresses were cuter because she was adding embroidery. And so I thought I need an embroidery machine. So I bought the cheapest one they had because I didn't know if I was going to like it. I never spent a lot of money. I bought everything. I bought everything used off of eBay and Craigslist, but I loved embroidery. So the next thing I did was I bought a Baby Lock Allure. So I knew I needed a bigger hoop. So I got that machine with a 5x7 hoop. And I had that for a couple of years, but I wanted something else. And then Peter, who owned the store before us, so go ahead and do your clovers. I'm going to leave that same color in. He called me because he had a traded-in machine, and it was an Elegante. Patrick was away hunting. I didn't even ask him. I just said, yes, I'll take that machine. It had an 8x12 hoop. And so I bought half my machines used and half my machines brand new. And I had that machine, and then I bought a used 6 needle, and then I tried the Gnome 15,000. To be honest, I missed the stitching on the Baby Lock & Brothers. And then I bought a 10 needle first, and then my Luminaire. So, hoop size. That's what hoop size makes a difference, right? Because it just means you have more options. You can do different configurations. And when we sit down with people and they buy machines, we really do go, how much can you spend? Let's get you the biggest hoop size. I mean, machines brand new, with embroidery machines, they go anywhere from $1,000, Carol, all the way up to $24,000. But we're going to make you a great deal. So you're not going to spend that much. And we can sit down and show you the machines and just go through the different features of the machines and find the best one for you. So they're going to range, but we're going to make you a killer deal. A brother right now is also bundling. So we just sold a gal a Luminaire, and we threw in the Scanicut, and we also threw in the 10x10 hoop. So they're doing some package bundles right now that might make sense, and then we can look at everything in between. Okay, after you do this, we are going to do the lighter colored clovers. So just find whatever color you want for that. Should I do this? I'm going to do this. Oh, look at that! It's called clover. So I'm going to do this for my lighter color. Those look perfect. That's like the perfect green. That was... I didn't have, I need to stop. I need to get some more glide colors. But this was Isocord 5643. I think that looks absolutely fantastic. And now I'm going to put clover in. And that is the glide color. Now it's going to do the smaller clovers. And then after that, we're going to do the white. Oh, while it's stitching this, I'm going to find my chenille cutter so I can use that to get to that part. I'm doing is putting some hand lotion on so you don't have to look at my scary hand. So yeah, last night Patrick and I watched this video. When you look at my YouTube feed, it's all like sewing and animals, like poor animals that are abused but then find their forever home. So Patrick's is all like skiing, mountain biking, climbing. He loves MMA, which I don't know why he loves that. I don't like watching people beat up on each other. But then he has manly stuff on his feed. So there was a video and it was like what to do like if you were out in the cold and how to light a fire that you wouldn't freeze to death. So it was this guy who you build a fire on the left and the right side of you, and then it kind of feeds off itself and it kind of warms what's in between, which would be you. And he sleeps out in, this is like, I want to say it's like negative 12 degree weather, but creating that fire makes it so where he's sitting, it was like 50 some odd degrees, which I think is totally bearable for sleeping. And why am I talking about this? Oh, so he's showing like a close-up. He does something, and this is like a rugged man who's just being like cutting down trees and like doing all of this outdoor stuff, and his hands look like my hands. I looked at his hands and I go, oh my god, that's what my hands look like. So I just lotioned up, so my hands are going to be pretty for you. Okay, let me look and see what you guys wrote. Did I miss any questions? Lady Fair. Sometimes, okay, so there are times where, okay, let me hit start. You're just going to use that same color. Sometimes there's bundles, you know, and those are bundles that, like, the manufacturers throw in. Sometimes there's bundles that they make us throw in, and, you know, we have to figure out how to accommodate those costs. And it depends on the dealer, right? Like, a lot of times, depending on what kind of deal we do with the customer, sometimes we have some margin, so we'll throw in stuff. Like, we like to throw in, I like people to be ready to go, so we'll do maybe a thread set, a couple rolls of stabilizer, and some pre-wound bobbins, just to make sure when you get home, you can just get stitching. But there are different things that dealers can and cannot do, but we always try to throw some stuff in. It's kind of fun, right? Okay, we're putting in our white thread now. Now we're going to stitch the beard decorative outline. Let's do that. Right now there is a bundle. So, Brother is including these things. When I did mine, I got my machine because, you know, I wanted the bundle. Even as a dealer, like, I purchased and I got the bundle. But when the machine first came out, they had software. There was like a really big bundle, and that's when I got my software. Okay, it's doing that decorative stitch around the beard. Here is my chenille cutter. And this is great because you're going to see it has this part that goes underneath the chenille, and they're different diameters. See how fat that one is? And this one's even fatter. And then you're going to put a blade in here. You can turn this so that you could be on a fresh part of the blade. So maybe you've been using it right here, and then you just turn it a little bit and it turns it to a different part of the blade. So there's a turn to select the guide. That means this. And there is a turn to get a new edge on your blade. So those are super cool. All right. You're just going to hit start again. It's going to do the cuff. Yes, Shannon, you have everything. Yeah. And you know, you end up watching live feeds like this. You see there's other features and things that can make your life easier. So, do you have all the... I do not have any of the glide colors. Like in our store, we're an Isacord store. So, and we're just not big enough that we can have 2 different lines of thread. However, I've been using the... What color should I do the hat? Should we outline it in the dark green, or should we just use... I think I'm going to go... Should I just go aloe? I'm just going to go aloe. But I buy from Glide a couple times a month. So I do not have the new thread colors, but if you want them, just let me know. Just send me the... And if you go onto their website, there is, because if you're looking to just order new colors, if you go onto the Glide website and look up their color card, there is a link that will take you to all the new colors. So if that's all you want is to add the new colors, you can do that. We do trade-ins. So yeah, bring your machine down and we will do a trade-in price too. Oh, I know, Lynn. But if you want a great deal on software, Patrick can give you a great deal on software. We carry PE Design, which is the brother version, and Palette. So PE Design 11, Palette 11 are the 2 things that we carry in the store because we have Michelle, and Michelle can support those softwares. So once we've done this, you're going to know how to do this. We could, if you want, I can hoop up and we can get started on the big binding strips. Let me go ahead and get that stuff. Because it is 12:27. We have half an hour left in our sew-along. I'm actually going to go to this store to try and get some work done after this. And then when I get home, maybe I'll work on this a little bit. Usually what I'll do is I will, I'll film like the rest of the stuff that we haven't done yet. Although I think you've gotten the gist of like the back, the stitch in the ditch, the binding. So I don't know if I'm going to film that stuff because it'll just go faster for me if I just do it. A PE 800 or only? Yeah, absolutely, Carol. Just come in and talk to Patrick. He's the deal maker. I just call myself the demo girl because that's what I like doing. So Renata, you know what Patrick said to me that made so much sense is he goes, and we've been a Baby Lock Brother dealer for a long time, and it's something that he said to me maybe like 2 months ago. He said to me, you've got to remember, because the Baby Lock machines are made by Brother, so they're all Brother machines. He goes, you've got to remember that Brother isn't just sewing machines like the other companies. Brother is computers, scanners, printers. So they have that whole side of the business that they can, or the company that they can pull technology from and incorporate it in the sewing machines. And that's why the Brother and Baby Lock sewing machines, the other manufacturers can't keep up with the technology. And I was like, oh my goodness, you are so right. That makes so much sense. Okay, that was the hat outline. Now we're going to put black back in. We're going to do the band on the hat. And they have the built-in camera. They have IQ Designer. They have all of these parts that that just make the machine incredible. And to be honest, I really think Baby Lock and Brother machines are the most user-friendly out there. Like, you could take it home and not do the classes and kind of figure it out, which is what we used to do in our store. We do a lot of classes now, and there's a lot of support. We are not open today, Carol. We won't be open again until tomorrow. Yes, come to Reno. So when you're going through stuff like this, keep in mind you're going through like the glitter. Your thread might break and shred. Number one, black is over-dyed, so that is going to be the weakest of the thread colors, any of the dark colors. And now that needle is going through all of this fabric, the adhesive that might be on there, like the spray, and it's going through the glitter. So if ever you shred, don't be stressed out. We're going through a lot right now. Next, you're going to do the hat buckle. You could do gold. You could get your King Star out. I'm going to grab my King Star. King Star has 3 different shades. This is G1. I don't have G2. This is G3. My favorite is G1 because, like, if I were to buy jewelry, this is the shade I would want. I feel like this one's almost tacky. But when I embroider, this is the one I use because I think it looks the best. So I really do most of the time use G3. I'm going to put that in for the buckle. If you have been traumatized using other brands, and not that this doesn't break, it could break, it's going through like a lot of different layers right now, and but King Star is the best. It is sold by, it's distributed by Diamond Embroidery, carry it in the store. But you don't have to baby it. Like, I had some Robeson Anton, and I had to baby that stuff. And OESD a lot of times will include, I should probably cut that little tail off, but I'm not going to. When you do tiling scenes, they'll include different, it's Yemet, like different metallic threads, and it's beautiful. But sometimes I have to baby that stuff. I find with my King Star, you just load it in and just stitch with it like you would any other thread. I love King Star. Okay, that is the buckle. Now you want to stitch the nose detail. So I put on your list because I was like, do you want like a light pink nose, or would you like a just beige nose? And I think I'm going to go light pink, which is, I think it's called this one. Isn't that cute? It's called First Kiss. What a great name for thread. Store is not open today. We are closed on, we used to be open 6 days a week, and we were open from 9 o'clock to 6 o'clock. And then we decided to be open from 9 to 5, which I love because nobody came in that last hour. And when the pandemic happened, we closed down on, here's his little nose. I'm doing First Kiss. We closed down Sundays. No, Mondays. And quite honestly, as a small business owner, we'll never go back to 6 days a week. It was so exhausting. We kind of need that extra day to kind of just refuel. So we're closed on Sundays and Mondays. And I like it because it gives me a chance that Mondays I like to sew-alongs, or I'll do my own sewing. Do you think that's cute? That's First Kiss. And it's like this almost fleshy, light baby pink. And I always write the numbers on the top of my spools. because when I use it on my 10 needle, I like to just glance up and not have to try and look on the very, very tops of them, and that's tiny, tiny print. Okay, now it says stitch the beard, basting outline. Color does not make a difference. Oh, before you do that, we're going to grab those 3 pieces of fabric because we're getting ready to do our chenille. And I literally had mine and I put them down somewhere, so I'm just grabbing from my pile. Try and grab the 3 that do not have the shape flex on the back. We're going to put them face down, or right side up. Put them right side up, so look at them. We're going to go right on top of this. Let's see. Right side up. And it says color does not make a difference, but white is going to be in the next color that does. So I'm going to go ahead and change out my thread right now. And it says stitch the beard, basting outline. I'm just going to hold it down in the corners. Now it says stitch the beard chenille lines. It does want this to be in white, so if you have not changed out your thread yet, change out your thread right now. Carol, I'll email you. Patrick doesn't like me giving his email out, but I will email you that email address. Or do you want him to call you? Now we're gonna, after we do this, we're gonna trim. Can you see that? We're gonna trim 3 pieces of the beard fabric close to the basting stitch. Do not cut the basting stitch during this step, and then we'll remove your basting stitch. So we're just gonna cut right around here. If you wanna do 1 layer at a time, you can. If you wanna do 2 layers, you can. I'm just gonna grab my snips. Doesn't that buckle just look amazing? Okay. I'm just doing 2 layers right now. Do not get your basting stitches. Just trim right around this. If you want to go through all the layers all at once, you can. All right, now it says remove the basting stitch. And when they're talking about the basting stitch, you are talking about the outline stitch that just went around that. You're going to need a seam ripper. Where are you, seam ripper? And it's not really a basting stitch because, like, it's close together. But you just want to remove that. Takes a little bit of time, but it's gonna give you some gorgeous results. Don't take out your, don't remove this stitch. You need the chenille stitches We're just taking out these stitches here. And if you did white thread like me, it's hard to see. Just the stitch that's going around. So, you know, once you get that stitch going, you can kind of pick it up, and the back stitch, except right here where the stitches are overlapping, will kind of come up. That's what I do a lot of time when I'm removing basting stitches. You kind of have to cut the stitch from the back, and I don't feel like taking my hoop off and flipping it over. Oop, be careful. I couldn't tell if that was a basting stitch or if that was my chenille stitch. My goodness, his nose is so cute in First Kiss. I thought that was like the sweetest name of a thread color. First Kiss. Oop, that's a chenille. I think that's a chenille. Right here, let me get these. Note to self. Maybe do these in a different color for your next one. I think we're good. I haven't been looking at your notes on the screen. What if you don't have a chenille cutter? Don't worry about it. Just take any sharp pair of scissors like this, and you're just going to cut right in between the chenille lines. So you don't have to have a chenille cutter, but the chenille cutter is so nice because if I can find mine, which I found and now I've lost, my superpower. I'm demonstrating my superpower of losing things quickly. Where did I put it? Oh, here it is, right where I was sitting. Okay, you can choose the size of this, and what you're going to choose is a size that's going to kind of fit right in between these lines, and it'll go straight up. I like this one. What size is this right here? That is, or so you have, and it says here, small, medium, and large. Actually, you know what? My medium's going to be best. So you're going to turn this, let me see, I don't remember how I use this. Turn to select the guide. Oh, mine's already set there. See how it's already set here? And you can tell it's the one that I use the most because it's like dirty. You're just going to put this in here. Oh, I still have a stitch left. I can feel it. This isn't releasing right here. Boop. Let's see if I got them all here. Somebody did a really bad job of removing stitches because they still have some left over. Okay, I think that's good now. So I'm set to medium. I can just put it in here. Maybe I'll get a side angle for you. And you just push straight up and it cuts. Isn't that neat? So it just cut right down the middle. Let me get you an angle from over here. Let's go back to the medium again. And you just push it straight up. You do have to have your stitches removed though. And I don't care if I like kind of fray the end if I get some of the fabric, because that's going to be the whole goal. You want it to be frayed and like unkept looking, because it's a leprechaun with an unkept beard. And put it in here and just push straight up. If you don't have that, not a big deal. You're just going to get your scissors and you're just going to slice it up to the end. But if you're doing Kimberbell and you're going to do a lot of it, you want to get one. All right, here's your brush. I don't know why they would want you to do a file. Well, am I even supposed to do this right yet? I just get so excited. I love the brush. With fine tip scissors, gently lift 3 layers. You don't want to cut the under layer. The very bottom layer needs to be there. Okay? That's like your base. So don't cut that one too. And you're going to go through all layers. Fray the edge of the cutter with a nail file or a chenille brush. Literally, I didn't have a nail file or a chenille brush once, and I just went like this with my fingernails. You're going to just do this. And it gets it all nice and rough. I feel like I should pull those stitches out too. Because you have that going through it. I feel like I need to take these out too. I didn't take those out. Sometimes as you do it, you evaluate and you go, oh, I need those stitches. I didn't want to like take something out that wasn't supposed to come out. So these lift up there. And that lifts up. Is that lifting up? Okay. And you might have like a different brush in your house that you want to use. Use whatever makes it look good. And we carry these in the store. I didn't have any more chenille brushes, so I just ordered some more. It's nice to have a... This is one of Momo's triggers. If he hears this anywhere in the house, he'll come running and he'll attack it while I'm using it. Isn't that strange? He's a very strange bird. Or dog. He's a dog. Oh my goodness. His beard is so cute. Oh, okay. Did you request it in the class? Because I don't go back to so I would purchase it online or send me an email and I'll take care of that about that walking foot. Let me see if I missed any other messages. You can just order these from the store. I think they're $3.99. They're $3.99. Okay, there's his little beard. Are we done? Stitch the trim guideline. Okay, you want to stitch the trim guideline. Change your color. Change your color because you want to be able to see it. Doesn't matter which color, but I would do something that's going to be a little bit darker. I'm just going to throw in this green that's sitting right here, clover. His beard is so cute. I do love this chenille. I think there's something really satisfying about taking that brush and just rubbing it really hard over that fabric. You would place order maybe tomorrow. Who's so crafty? And if it's about the, oh no, I don't remember. I don't remember. Please refresh my memory. So this is really important that you stitch this part out because this is going to give you like the little guidelines that you're going to frame around. It's going to give you your centering marks that make this, make trimming this easier. And I never do this. I usually go long. You guys are usually stuck here longer. But I think I'm going to end with this. And because I do want to go to the store and get some work done. And I'm going to end with this. But I will go ahead and I'll record those outer borders if you haven't seen those before. But it's going to be similar to how we did all the other ones. So if you feel like you need some more instruction, you can just watch the outer border stitch out from either February or January. Oh, Shirley. Okay. Yeah. I'll go to the store and I'll take care of that because I'm going to go this afternoon. I'm going to see if I can drag Patrick there too. But, so what we did today is we did our, if I can find it, you wouldn't believe the mess that I've made so far. Here are these, and like I was saying, don't you think these would be so much prettier? Wouldn't that be so much prettier? That's so much prettier. So if you're okay with it and you want me to kit it with this, I think that is so much prettier than this. But this is what is in the kit, and it's still going to be pretty. So we did our inner borders. I'll do a video where I trim. I press everything out. I'm going to press and then I'm going to trim. We did our deck of cards. So we have 2 more to do, and while I like go and have lunch with Patrick, I'll probably have some of this stitching. And then we did one of these. So I'll trim. I will film the border strips, and then I will probably film sewing it all together, but it's going to be the same as the other ones. So, hope you ladies and gents had fun today. Oh, you used a piece of Lynn, of course you did. So Lynn used Cuddle. So if you don't want to do the chenille here and all those layers, and you can cut out some of the steps, you can just go ahead and put a piece of Cuddle down. That's going to give him that nice soft beard. That's going to be kind of fuzzy. And yeah, glad that you joined. If you want me to add you to the cuties list, make sure you shoot me an email. I put my email into the feed. And then if you have anything else that you need, email me, and I will take care of it for you. So have a great day. Hope you're able to finish this up. I'm gonna continue to do some stitching, but I'm just not gonna do the filming. And we'll be back in the store tomorrow. So if you need anything, you can reach out to us tomorrow too, and you can call the store. Have a great day. Our next sew along is going to be, it's the first Monday of, I'm pretty sure it's the first Monday of next month. And if you're doing Tweetheart, I'm doing Tweetheart on Wednesday, and I think it's Wednesday 2 to 5 is when I'm going to be stitching that out. And then I'll see if we need to add another session of that for the Tweetheart pillow.